Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Resonant Rise. This is going to be a Let's Play, but particularly more of a tutorial. I'm going to post it as a tutorial to help some people that may want to know how to build an end farm. I'm going to make a very simple one that you can do on your world. And so I'm going to get some of the stuff that I need. I do know that I need an ender chest. I don't think I have one. So I'm going to use my ender chest that I usually use for my filler, which is probably full of dirt right now. So we'll need to change the colors. I'm going to make it available to spawn so that everybody can use the flow of ender pearls that will come into this chest. And if you notice, when I pull up anything ender, most of the colors are green. It seems like anything having to do with the end has to do with green color. So what I'm going to do is get some green dye, and I'll label the ender chest as a green. I'm going to go real quick to my video settings and set it to fast, because it seems to be a little bit of... okay, it looks a little better now. I got a little bit more frames there. Let's get some green dye. We can use this one, that's fine. Pestle and mortar, I don't see it here, so it must be in the ME system. So we'll grind this mystical flower up to make some green dye. Here we are, and pestle and mortar right here. This is one way to make green dye. So let's place this down, and we'll color this so that it's spawn, overworld, and ender pearl. So this should be empty now. Good. Alright, so we need another ender chest for our side. This one will be in the end, and we need one for our base. So let's see if we have the materials for this. We do. And we can use the other green dye for that. Let's put this on the end. Now when I open one, both should open. Okay, very good. So, yeah. Let's place one over here. Maybe right here for now. I'll find another place better for it later. So, let's see. We need a vacuum hopper. Vacuum hopper. Right here. We are missing a regular hopper. Vanilla hopper. Do that. Here we are. Okay, so far so good. Let's put some stuff away. Some item conduits. I know I have plenty. So far so good. We need a trash can, because we're going to get some excess of different things depending on your mod pack. Let's use this recipe so that we get 4. And we'll take a trash can with us. So sometimes you'll get a rare drop, like a head or a loot chest or a heart, depending on if you go and kill some of them. And since I don't want to clog up the system, I want to make sure that they definitely do go into trash. If someone comes to the farm and wants to do any killing, they'll know to just shut off the trash, and so it'll collect here, and then they can pick it up later and then reset it so that it does go into the trash. Okay, that should do. We have the vacuum hopper, the trash, then it goes into a deep storage unit, because it's going to be producing ender pearls all day and all night. Now here's the problem. It's going to be producing so much ender pearls, in fact, that it could strain a little bit of the CPU for this server. So what I'm going to do is make a very small farm, and it'll collect over time, day and night, day and night. It'll just keep collecting pearls, but just one every second or one every 5 seconds. More than enough of the purposes that anybody on the server would need. So, what else will we need? Well, we'll need, of course, cursed earth. That's what we're making this out of. And we'll just take one with some dirt. And I like to conserve all my cursed earth because I don't want to do that ritual again. It's not a big deal, but just don't want to. So we'll take some diorite, just so that it'll stand out in the end because it's so dark. We can make it white and it'll look good that way. Another thing we might need are some torches for some of the areas. This will do, because I do have in my pouch of goodness an angel block, which is very important. Okay, so I think we're done. Let's go ahead and go to the end portal, which is about 600 blocks away, and I'll meet you over there. So here we are in the end. I've picked a spot about 300 blocks away from the island, which is that way. And I just noticed, ooh, I didn't see this before. You know what? There are places for the Endermen to spawn. This will be a problem. It'll slow our spawn rate. So I want to go around here. This is where I picked, around 300 blocks away from the end island. I'm about as straight as possible from the end. I guess it doesn't show here. I went back on journey map because I didn't like it. So we are back at the default. And now we are hovering over 0. We could go lower, but I'm just going to go at 0. Maybe 1. Yep. We're a little bit higher than 1. So we are at 2, which doesn't really matter. So I'm going to build a little bit of a platform here. Okay, so there we are. 7 by 7. Looks pretty good. Doesn't have to be 7 by 7. I just picked those numbers. Let's just put one of these on each end. Doesn't need to be on a corner. It could be anywhere. Just need to light this place up. Now if I hit F7, you'll see that there's no lines. I'm hitting it right now and there's nothing. So it looks good. Let's turn off our white Wayla because it's in the way. And let's set down our ender chest first. That'll be the first item. And instead of placing it horizontally, which would probably conserve space, I'm not concerned because we have plenty of height and we can work with the height. Doesn't matter to me. So I'm just going to place, just for looks, since this opens up like that, I'm not going to place it on top even though I can. It'll open up through the conduit. I just want a realism factor to be here. So I'm going to place a deep storage unit right above the item conduit that goes into the chest. The input for the chest has to be insert and extract from the deep storage unit. So the deep storage unit will get filled up, immediately sending it to the ender chest and filling up the ender chest. Once the ender chest gets full, it'll back up the system and fill up the deep storage unit. The thing is that we need a trash can to get rid of stuff before it goes into the deep storage unit. So we'll place another item duct, or item conduit in this case, and go insert so that it's pointing down into the deep storage unit. We'll place a trash can. And one thing I did forget, now that I realize, is that we need a filter so that it will take everything into the trash can except pearls. All pearls will be sent down. That's no problem. We can settle that later. What I need now is just some ender conduit or some item conduit to go up through a floor, which we're going to place here. This is another platform, but this platform will be the killing area. So we'll just go like this. We'll set it down a little bit lower. Doesn't have to be high. All of this is interchangeable. Nothing is solid or all of these are just recommendations. You could do it any way you want, but the general idea is the point of this video. Just an idea of how to do it, and it's going to function perfectly for a survival multiplayer server. So this is awesome for the guys that are on your server. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a vacuum hopper right here. I guess this is a little bit high. We can go even lower than this. Let's place it right here instead. And get some diorite and place it right there. So what's happening here is that it's not connecting because we have to access it. And if we hit O, we can get rid of our NEI and all the junk around it so we can see what's going on. This vacuum hopper can collect XP or items. So I'm going to click this item tab to access it. And then it's going to ask me, where do I want the input for it to be? It's hard to tell with this, but I'm going to hold my left key. My right mouse. Let's shut that off. My right mouse key so that I can rotate it and access the bottom of it, which looks to be this one. Then I'll hit my left, and that's blue, as you can see there. So if we look down here, you'll see that it's blue there. Very good. Let's access it from down here. And I'll hover under it. I have my angel ring on so that I can fly. It looks to be connected now, but I do want to extract always without a redstone signal. So it doesn't require a redstone signal to begin to collect. Now, Here's the deal. Typically, you would have the Enderman fall on top of hoppers or on top of a platform and have the vacuum hoppers on the ends. Now, since I'm being efficient with this farm, I'm just going to use one hopper and they can land right on top of it. It counts as a block. So instead of counting from this block, we're going to count from this block because it's a little bit higher. And so here we are at 9. You can see that on my mini map it shows 8 here. And if I climb up here, it's 9. We're going to count 45 plus 9, or maybe 50 plus 9, 59, so that we ensure that when the Endermen fall, they will die. Now, if you have a mod pack where the Endermen, there's some special Endermen, which are stronger, have more hearts, you're going to have to be careful with that and make sure that they die one way or another. The way you can do it is by putting fans here, so that if they don't die, they'll slowly be pushed off the edge into the end, or the void. And that's what I plan to do. I'm going to go get some fans and put them here. But right now, what I'm going to do is count up and make the spawn platform up there. Alright, so we're back, and what I've gotten was a filter. We're going to place the filter on the trash can. Let's see if we can place it right here. And we'll place it here, and we'll put it on insert. Oops, I did it wrong. First, we place it on insert. Then we place the filter. So it's an inserting filter. We're going to blacklist Ender pearls. And that's about it. We don't have to set a priority. Let's set a priority so that it'll be strong. Everything will want to go into the trash can. The only thing is, it's going to blacklist pearls so that no pearls will be able to go in there. I think that's a better setting. Set it on a high number. Anything from 1 to above. Alright, so the platform is set so that they'll land here. And I'll need to light this area up or place slabs. And I brought some slabs. I think it'll be neater to do it that way. So we'll just cover this up in slabs. This will ensure that no mobs can spawn here. In this case, only Endermen can spawn in the end, naturally. So placing slabs there will prevent their spawns. I guess I'll place it down here also, or just leave the lights. It doesn't matter. I'll decide that later and off camera. You can do whatever you want there. It doesn't matter. The main point of the matter is that they'll only be landing there. Why is that? Well, because the size that I placed for here is a 5x5, and it's the same thickness as there. So if they start walking while they're flying, they'll still land on the platform because the platform extends a little bit extra. But this is the same width as the platform below. Now what we can do is take out the middle block and place that one cursed earth that I have. And it'll start slowly creeping around and filling up all the dirt in the area. The other thing I want to do is place fans so that they'll be pointed that way and fall onto the platform. And so let's point them this way. And you know what? I may point them inward. And let's do that again on this side. Like that. And so that'll be good. And even if they do spawn here naturally, that's fine. We want Endermen. So it doesn't really matter. I mean, the reason why I outlined it with stone of any type, I use diorite in this case, is because as they're falling, what I've noticed in my other traps is that as they're falling, they can grab a dirt block and fall down. Because Endermen grab dirt blocks if they can see the exposed side. So the dirt block being an exposed side as they're falling gives them an opportunity to grab it. But if there's a block that's placed by a player covering the side, they won't grab it. It protects it. So we have one specimen ready to fly. What we can do is place some levers down and have him be our test dummy. Now he's a special mob. You can see he's glowing a little bit. He's going to have a little bit more strength if we take a look at his health bar. Let's see if we can. He's got 74. I don't know why his health is only 44 at the moment. But as you can see, he's not flying. So these will have to be placed a little bit closer, I think. we made this trap just one block too long. Let me replace one block over. Okay, so I've replaced it, made the platform a little bit smaller. So now they'll be guided into that center over there. Let's try that. And we have one special mob right there. He should be going soon. Let's go check out our loot. I'll just drop down. I have permanent feather falling, so I shouldn't get hurt. And let's turn this volume down a little bit. And we'll just check this. It's increasing. It's going up. Nothing's going in here except for the special loot, like the loot chests. I'm sorry, the loot bags that the special mobs drop. The heads, the hearts, anything that isn't a pearl will go in here. I guess I can send these in here also. But so far we have 3. And they'll continue spawning even while the player is not here. I can be back at the overworld and you'll see that this will increase. Alright guys, there's 2 more things that I wanted to mention I forgot to mention before. I made some strips out of the diorite. You can use any color you want, but I went with the same block, and what I'm doing is making sure that they're guided. This is to increase the efficiency of the farm. This will ensure that they fall in the right location. Let's turn this off for a second. Turn all of these off. You can use a redstone strip or a red alloy wire to control all the fans so that they shut off and turn on at the same time, but that's not a real worry for me. So let's get rid of this strip right here, and that will guide them down. Not that they can't jump over it, but while they're thinking of jumping over it, and while they're on top of it, it'll also give some time to have them being pushed down. So let's go check down there, and the only thing that should be spawning, went too far, let's go back up. The only thing that should be showing up there are these super strong ones, and they have too much health. So there's nothing you can do about them. Here's the deal. Once you go away, they will despawn. And as you can notice, they have that Enderman head. Maybe I can get one from him. No, I didn't get it. Okay, so let's check down here. This has been a few minutes already, and we are collecting. Yep. It's increasing a whole lot. So it's working just fine. The other thing that I wanted to mention, forgot to mention, is that I want to place a dimensional anchor somewhere here. And I think the best place to put it is probably under one of these 2 platforms. Either this one on top or the one below. And I'm just going to place it below, right in the middle. And it's set to just 1. You can use a spot loader, but this is so much cheaper. Depends on your mod pack. The other thing is that you want to make sure that you build all of this within 1 chunk, so that that dimensional one chunk spot loader will be able to run the conduits in the ender chest and the trash. All those conduits will work only if it has a chunk load on it. Well, that's about it. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.